Hello, everyone, and good evening. Welcome to Reality Hour. I am Adam Samuel. Today, Dancing with the Stars, week 3. It was Britney week, and joining me is Britney herself. No, who have we got here?
I'm Grace. What are you talking about?
She's sporting, a Britney look. I don't know. I was confused.
I've got the schoolgirl outfit. I know Tyra beat me to it, but I thought of it before she wore it, so that counts.
Yes, Britney Spears week has come to Dancing with the Stars. Grace, are you a fan? Not a fan? What was kind of your reaction?
This is going to sound totally weird, but when Britney first came out, I was a huge fan of hers, but I was like a little kid. I do like a lot of her music. I'm not entirely sure it fit a lot of these dances really well. But it was fun.
I like the outfit, by the way. I think it kind of you captured the essence of the which music video was it from?
Baby One More Time.
As we discussed kind of last week a little lightly, I'm not the biggest Britney Spears I don't know all her songs. My knowledge of her music is kind of peripheral.
Mhm.
But yeah, we're here. We're going to be talking about the show. I got to say though, coming in when I heard that it was going to be Britney Spears week, I was kind of a little bit turned off and kind of left with a bit of a head scratcher because it kind of feels a little icky. I don't know how you feel about this, Grace, where for me, it kind of feels like Britney Spears is in the news a lot and the show is trying to capitalize off that attention.
Maybe, yeah. Although
Like,
I'm gonna say I found out what week 5's theme is, and gross.
we'll be going over all this stuff in the spoiler section, but just on this week alone, it just, if there hadn't been all this news about her, I don't think we would be getting this week. And I think that kind of is.
Or if Tyra weren't the executive producer.
Yeah.
So this only would have come from the mind of Ty Ty.
But what do you think,
you, Matthew?
Ooh, that's some exciting news.
Yeah.
But do you kind of have any thoughts on that decision, or do you think you would have been better not doing it, or do you think it's kind of maybe you're indifferent?
It was nice to hear some of her songs done, but like I said, Matthew was slamming on the covers. We slam on the covers a lot with this show.
I don't mind the covers, to be honest, because
the show used to have a band for everything, and then they started migrating more to using tracks. But if they have a band, why would they not use the band?
I don't know. I like the covers. Even if they are maybe a little bit weird, it's just because we already have the original song. It makes it sound a little bit more different. It sounds a little more fresh. Not in most cases. Like most cases, I would. I like what I want at certain times, and then I don't. I can admit that. But yeah, other than the actual episodes, is there any kind of big news about the show you want to talk about? Any kind of exciting news that has come out?
Well, I just found out that Cheryl said that she and Cody are cleared to be in the ballroom on Monday, which is a good thing. This week was kind of weird for them.
What did you think about them doing it kind of the way that it was done?
I'm happy that they both did really well. I'm happy they both had like very mild COVID symptoms, which is why you people need to get your dang shots.
But didn't they get their shots?
Yeah, they're both fully vaccinated. But they
still get the shots.
Positive. But yeah, they Cheryl was sick for a couple of days and then it was done. Cody's symptoms were very mild. My band director just tested positive and he said it was just allergies, it felt like. But yeah, this winter, unlike last year, there will be a tour. I don't know.
Have you ever gone to one of the tours?
No, it's only the pros, so it's a little bit weird. Sometimes they'll bring like a past contestant, like a winner on. I know, last season they didn't have a tour. The year before that, it was the last few shows were canceled because of COVID. But like they bring on like a contestant from that season. Like I know season 28, it varied by city, and my city was Kate Flannery, and I was just like, nope. If it had been Kel Mitchell, I'd be gone. But it's usually just like a handful of the pros, which sounds like really amazing, but also the closest they're coming to me is like an hour away. And I'm just like, is it really worth the drive?
Yeah, I can only speak for myself, but I don't think, just off base stuff, what I know, that Dancing with the Stars, most of the fun isn't so much the pros. It's
No.
it's the celebrities, with a few exceptions. I mean, some people really liked, Derek and some names that have been on the show, but for the most part, it's the celebrities. But
Yeah.
mhm. Anything else to kind of discuss about the show in general before we kind of get into the deep dive?
Not really, unless you want to talk about No Derek when we get into the deep dive.
Well, let's start going through the contestants. We got Britney Spears week. Cody doing our first. Was this the first time we've had a situation like this kind of happen?
Yeah, because usually, like, if they can't be there in the ballroom that night, they're off the show. They're forced to withdraw. But, I mean, they were both cleared by doctors to dance, so they had to do basically the equivalent of a TikTok duet on
Better than
Dancing with
nothing.
the Stars, which is what the kids are into these days. So there's that.
All right. Well, let's talk about the performances. So first up, Amanda and Alan doing a cha-cha-cha.
Circus.
It's a circus. And what was your feeling?
It was clean. Her technique was great. This was not my favorite from her. I liked her better last week. I kind of feel like there's already a bus starting up for Amanda at this point. I mean, they put her first. The judges kind of gave her lukewarm feedback. She's still tied for the highest score of the episode, but I'm kind of thinking the show is maybe thinking, okay, she's doing really well in the votes. Maybe we don't want her to win. I don't think she can win anyway. I think she can make the finale at this point, but I don't think she can win. Like, Len saying she wants to get excited about her. Like, what does the man want? Like, what's not exciting about Amanda?
Yeah, it's very bizarre. Yeah, you said she was one of the best, highest rating, or like in the top two, I think.
She was in a 3-way tie for the highest score of the episode.
I don't see a bus coming, honestly. I don't.
It wasn't so much the scores, but it was the judges' feedback. Like, Len's like, I'm just not excited by watching her. Like, Len wants to get excited about her. I'm like, I don't know what he wants, or maybe he's just grumpy that night.
I don't think that says anything about the dancing. I think that just is about like her in general on the show. Just kind of maybe you're kind of looking at it the wrong way. Maybe they're trying to say like you're doing a great job as a dancer, but you're just not getting that much attention,
Yeah, I was looking at Twitter followers, and she's less than 10,000 followers on Twitter, which maybe I should look at Instagram because that's where the kids are. I think Twitter's I've told by my students every day that Twitter is for old people. So maybe I should go on Instagram, but yeah, I don't know. I thought she was great. Judges be damned. Maybe Amanda should listen to us and not the judges, even though we don't get paid.
What about Iman doing a tango with Daniela?
I thought it was funny though. I mean, I didn't realize this because he was pretty early in the episode, but all the contestants were talking about like what Britney fans they were, and he did not know this song, which is sad because that album is awesome. That Blackout album might actually be my favorite album of hers. I thought he kept his posture pretty well. This one I was not excited by. I did not see a whole lot of character. I didn't see a lot of chemistry. I would have put him in the bottom two, possibly. I would have definitely put him in the danger zone this week.
I think the most interesting part of the performance was the camera that kind of got messed up. Like, just what was going on there?
I don't know, but like I'm happy that he kept his posture because it's hard for the tall guys, especially when they're that much taller than their partners, to like sometimes they want to like hunch over to match their partners better, and I'm glad he didn't do that. But yeah, and next week he has my least favorite song of the episode, so he has to make me excited. Yeah, like Matthew said, he's kind of bored. This was better, like I said. But I thought he was going to end up in danger, so I'm a little bit surprised that he wasn't.
Yeah, kind of surprising. I still continue to think he's not going to be here for the long run. I think he's got a couple weeks at most.
We thought the same thing about Daniela's partner last season, and he made the finale, so.
We'll see. But we got Christine and Pasha up next doing a Paso Doble. A lot of Britney songs. Like, I don't know many Britney songs, but a lot of Paso Dobles, a lot of tangos. It's that kind of music, I feel.
Yeah. Well, I know she was, I love that she's so into this and she's such a big fan of the show. But the big smile on her face did not fit the paso at all. This is a matador. This is
matador?
stronger. This is the dance of the bullfight. Although the woman is supposed to be the cape, but still, like, stronger than yesterday. It's nothing but my way. And you've got this big smile on your face the whole time. It wasn't terrible. I barely remember it. And clearly I'm not the only one because she ended up getting the axe this week.
Yeah. And look, I've said before, I thought she's just kind of a middle of the road contestant. And, you know, she wasn't going to win to begin with. So it was going to happen eventually. So are you sad to see her go, or?
Here's my thoughts. And I put a poll up asking about how the right couple went home. One of them said out of the bottom 2, she was the right person to go home. Out of all 14, no. Out of all 14, I wouldn't have put either her or Kenya in the bottom 2 this week.
Yeah.
Mine would have saved her.
It was a fun ride, but like I said, I'm kind of
better
indifferent.
than Pasha's last season, which is kind of hard not to be.
Poor Pasha. Just.
At least he wasn't paired with a murderer this season.
You know, if you were to switch the P for an S and then shuffle the letters around, you get Sasha. Just
yes.
Random observations. Next up, JoJo.
I don't even know what you're doing.
Next up, JoJo Siwa and Jenna doing Argentine tango. I think she's gonna win. I really think she's gonna win. Was it Hit Me Baby One More Time?
Yeah, they did Baby One More Time.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that song choice, honestly.
They had to do this song. This was her first hit. This is what put Britney on the map. I thought, though, had Tyra not stolen the schoolgirl outfit, that's the costumes they would have come out with. The judges came down pretty hard on her, too, so maybe she's the one they're trying to bust, and I'm just writing too much into it. I'm happy they did, though, because, like, she's a professional dancer. She shouldn't even be on the show.
Yeah, she's really good. Like, I'm watching, like, she's
a professional dancer.
She's on Jenna's level, I think, honestly.
Well, yeah, she did a really good job with it. I kind of wanted her to do a little bit more with it. I see the judges' comments, definitely. I think they were all in agreement on things that I would have never come up with because I don't know ballroom dancing like they do. But yeah, I'm just looking, like, I'm waiting for her to get to a slow dance, which I don't have to wait very long because she has Viennese Waltz for one of the Disney nights. But yeah, I think that's when we're going to really test JoJo because she's been able to showcase her crazy, wild, energetic personality. But at some point, there's going to be dances where she can't do that. You're muted.
Am I still muted? Sorry.
No, you're fine.
One of the things that kind of really surprised me about this performance is that it was kind of racy. And for JoJo, whose kind of audience is, I don't know.
She's 18, but
she's 18, but you know, like, it's kind of one of those, like, know your audience things. It's just surprising to me. Like, there's nothing against it.
Probably a smart move, though, because I feel like if she really wants to win, she's going to have to appeal to the older audience because the majority of Dancing with the Stars fans are like 40-year-old soccer moms who probably are annoyed by JoJo because they watch her because their kids are obsessed with her.
Yeah, and it's nothing against her. Do what you want to do. I'm just saying it was a bit of a surprise because just of who her audience, kind of her prime audience. Like, I don't know, but good for her. And she's my number 1 draft pick, so I think she's gonna win.
You keep dreaming.
Would you be surprised if she won?
No.
All right. Well, let's move on.
But also, she would get a lot of backlash if she did. But let's talk about Kenya. Talking about her pageant.
Another tango. A lot of tangos and pasos this week. Yeah. Straight 7s also. But what did you think?
Now, when she started talking about her pageant past and making Brandon, like, because she won Miss USA in 93, and Brandon was like, I was born in 94. I was like, so was I.
Me too.
We're children. But, like, I was thinking, like, can you be a because, like, normally when people talk about their pageant history on American Idol, they're automatically labeled pageanty. I don't know if you can be labeled pageanty on this show. We've had pageant queens before, and they never do very well. And And I think this is going to be the same because one, she was in the bottom 2 this week. And when you're in the bottom 2 this early, it's hard to bounce back from that. And again, no character. The technique, I don't even think, because her technique's been pretty solid. She looked like she was stumbling a little bit. She did Womanizer, Matthew, which, I mean, I love her, but this was a step back. And I would not have put her in the bottom 2 this week, but I'm not surprised that the fans did.
Yeah.
Housewives never do that well.
I'm just indifferent to her. Like, it's nothing against her. I just can't get excited. She's just kind of a person to go home at some point. And I don't mean that to be as harsh as
later.
But yeah, so honestly, at least I like the underdog stories of the people who are like the obvious next choice, like staying around. So if it's at the expense of like a Christine or a Kenya, I'm okay with it because it's more fun to watch the underdog continue. Like she was never going to win.
No,
they're never going to like make it that far. So they're just kind of there. So it's more fun. Like I said, underdogs. And that's kind of my thoughts on Kenya, honestly.
But also, like, if she's in the bottom 2 with Brian or Iman, can they send the guy home, please? They probably, I'd like to think they would. I would, but I don't know what the judges think.
Well, what about Brian Austin Green?
Fittingly
enough, up next, another tango. I feel like tangos would be fun.
Well, like, here's the thing. Whenever they were all like talking about how much they love Brittany, he talked about an airport in Spain getting shut down because he was there. Like, that seemed a little bit self-important. I feel like this dance was 80% Sharna, 20% Brian. Len slammed his feet, which he should have. Somebody tweeted me and thought that like maybe they're thinking that Brian kind of just thinks this is a joke or he's just there to spend more time with his girlfriend. Like, he's not really taking it seriously. I don't know. Yeah,
Sharna's pulling all the weight here, honestly. But like,
it's not going to work forever.
But good for her. She got her boyfriend on the show, so she's still winning. I mean, it's,
It would. I don't even know if that. I would say that's better than her actual win, but I'm not even sure if it is at this point.
But yeah, this is another contestant where I'm kind of feeling sooner or later.
He might outlast Kenya just because I feel like he has a bigger fan base. But at some point, it's going to bite him in the ass because he's one of the weakest dancers left.
Yeah, and speaking of, by the way, where was Derek this episode?
He was exposed to COVID. And he did test negative, but out of an abundance of precaution, he was not there this week.
I'm surprised they didn't like do a Zoom, like they didn't Zoom him in. I mean, no, but seriously, because think about it from a different perspective. Like, he's signed on for the season. They've paid him. It's
already like 4's already a crowd at the judges' table. Let's be honest here.
No, but they paid him. Like, he's already doing the job. Does he still get paid if he just doesn't do the season? Like, or the episode?
Probably. I think they're paid for the season. I don't think they're paid by episode.
So yeah, I mean,
if the contestants are, but it makes sense. Like, why would they pay them for 10 weeks if they're only there for 3?
So if it's just an exposure, like, wouldn't you think they would zoom him in?
So,
I don't know. Some things don't make sense to the world. But let's move on to Melora and Artem.
And all the tears this week.
And all of the tears. Thoughts?
This was her best dance I've seen so far because I was ready to give up on this girl. She and one other person on my team I was just ready to give up on. This was like the new and determined Melora. There were parts that were kind of sloppy, but like she kind of owned this dance totally.
Yeah, quite a surprise.
Yes.
Wasn't kind of expecting it. And I still don't think she can win. I think she's probably got.
I don't even think she's going to be in the finale.
But I think she's kind of top of the middle pack. If that makes sense.
I think she has like out of the mid packers, I see more potential in her than I do in somebody like Kenya or Iman. Well, Iman's like bottom. Or Jimmy, that kind of thing. Yeah, it was one of my favorites too, Matthew. I was very, very happy about it.
So good for her. I mean, a win's a win.
Yes.
But let's move on to Mel C and Gleb.
The other 90s music icon of the episode.
I'm continually, every time we talk about Mel C, my first note is, damn, she is ripped. And really ripped. Like,
yeah, she's very, very fit. I mean, like I've mentioned this. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but like the Spice Girls nicknames came from a magazine based on outfits they were wearing, and she was wearing a tracksuit. That's why she's Sporty Spice. But no, like she's done like marathons, she's done triathlons, she's so fit.
Dang. But also one of the better contestants of the night.
Yeah, also remember in the intro when like they were doing like the weird like Britney lyrics and Gleb couldn't get the water bottle open and she had to open it for him. That's kind of what I was thinking about because like you mentioned like when you mentioned her physique all the time. And I like that she did this flight attendant thing because that's from the music video for Toxic. I knew somebody was going to do Toxic. I think it's the most frequently done Britney song.
What would you say of all of Britney's catalog is the most iconic song?
Probably Oops, I Did It Again.
I've just said Toxic.
Maybe.
All right. But I think she's going to be in the finale.
Yeah, I think she's in for the long haul. Carrie Ann did mention this in her feedback that her performance mode feels forced. And I saw that after she said it because I was trying to think of the right words. And then Carrie Ann mentioned it feels forced. She was still looking down, which the judges told her not to do. I think the thing is, the first week when she did Wannabe, she had freedom to let loose and have more fun. And then she got a foxtrot and a tango where she couldn't do that. But I mean, Melanie C is the sophisticated Liverpudlian that she is. So hopefully she can get that refinement because if she can't, she can kiss winning goodbye. And I'm looking at her Disney songs this week.
Do you think she can win?
Dances. I don't know.
All right. So. Do you think Jimmy Allen and Emma can maybe win? They're doing a salsa.
He did pull out the wife and kids though, so here we go. And his wife was the Britney fan. My first thought when he came out though, with first off, outrageous. Really don't like that song. But also those costumes were pink.
They were very pink.
They were so pink. This was more hip hop, I feel like, than salsa.
Yes, I agree. I think that's actually a really good point. It felt very, I don't know. It just had a lot of energy to it. Like, I'm not used to salsas having that much, oomph. You know what I mean?
No, they didn't do a whole lot of tricks either. Cause like, I remember like Jeannie Mai, the first week they had a salsa and it was like so trick heavy. They didn't have a lot of tricks.
I don't know. Could you explain like what are some of like the definitive aspects of a salsa?
Well, for one thing, they have like the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. That's a big piece of it. That's like the foundation. They're also allowed to do lifts in salsa. That's a big part of it.
So, there's so many rules.
Oh, his wife's like that pregnant. Good for her.
Could be exciting. Jimmy's not winning though this season.
No, this did surpass like most of my expectations for Jimmy because I had him kind of on the floor. I kind of already see him going the Nelly route. Bruno did give him an 8, which I guess countered the 6s nicely, but Bruno was also a sucker for the kind of stuff that Jimmy did in this dance.
All right. And next up, Olivia Jade and Val. Another tango.
Fresh off her birthday last week.
I continue to say her stock is only going to continue to rise. I think she's going to be here for the long haul.
I need to get myself a mint before I say this.
She was the best of the night.
This was the best dance of the night.
See, now it doesn't look so dumb that I picked her for my draft.
It
right?
Doesn't. Her going all sob story about how she's not used to people saying good things about her, like, girl, like that's the spotlight. I thought though Hold It Against Me was a hilarious song choice for her.
A lot of meanings there.
Yeah, no, this was probably the best dance of the night.
Yeah, perfect song choice though. I mean,
yeah. But I think she also wants to be there is a big thing. Like Brian doesn't want to be there. A lot of these people are just doing it for the money. I don't know if she's really in it for the career rehab or the experience. But yeah.
Do you think she can win?
No.
You don't
I think she has
win?
way too much criticism on her hands to even come close to winning.
I think at best.
Although I say that and the controversial contestants always make it further than they should. But they usually dance terribly, so.
You're right. I don't think she can win. but I think she could be like the runner-up. I think she could be like top 3. She
Maybe
could.
Val hasn't made the finale in a while, so maybe he's due.
All right, but next up,
let's talk about COVID.
Cody, Rigsby, and Cheryl, our first ever dance like this. So, correct me if I'm wrong. So, ballroom dancing, there needs to be, you need to be doing like holding hands and doing all that stuff.
Yeah, there's usually like some form of hold. Thankfully, they got jazz, so they were able to be apart.
They thankfully, it was obviously, I think they were the only jazz of the night.
Yes.
So they were purposefully given it because is that the only form you could do where you could get away without having any holds?
Either that or contemporary.
All right, and I've got another question. So, what is a jazz? Like, jazz dances, of all the dances, it's just kind of I've never understood what it actually is.
Well, it's not a ballroom dance, so there's no strict rules. Contemporary is the same thing. Jazzes are like closer to what the freestyles used to be before they got all the production and whatnot. But yeah, they're just supposed to be fun.
So is there rules? Is there
Not really.
I feel like jazzes are more about performative, like the story or whatever.
Correct.
But here's a dumb question. This is like really dumb. I know it was Dancing with the Stars, but did you need Cheryl? Honestly, because if I don't know, did she need to be involved in hypothetically?
Well, somebody had to choreograph the dance.
Oh, well, touche. I don't know. Do you think they might be in trouble though? Because they did get one of the lowest scores.
They had the lowest score of the episode, which Cheryl was quite upset about.
You know who else was probably pretty upset about it? Eric.
I mean, I think the timing issues might not have been 100% their fault. It's hard to say. It was just weird. Like, it was a TikTok duet. That's really what it was.
What else can you ask for them? I mean,
yeah, he did have fun with it. It was much more fun than Britney's catatonic performance of the song at the VMAs several years ago.
Yikes.
The judges slammed it pretty hard. I mean, when a judge says good effort, that's not a compliment. But also, like, part of me is like, I understand why Cheryl was frustrated with the comments. She's like, maybe they should have been nicer to him. But then I remember, like, from a performer's perspective, the audience doesn't care if you're sick. They don't care if you broke your toe. Like, they just want to see a good performance. Like, they really just, they don't care what you're going through in a day.
Do you think they might go home?
No. I think they got enough votes from this. Like, they weren't even in the bottom two, and they had the lowest score.
Yeah, but it's not, it kind of carries over. Like, they're not judged for this week's performance. Next week, the person goes home based on this week's performance.
No, they scrap the votes.
Really?
They do live voting throughout the show.
But then why couldn't they do that for the first episode?
They had voting. They just didn't send anybody home.
They
combined
the first elimination was both episodes.
Yes, and then they scrapped them, and then this
and
week
now that's gone. Oh, I didn't know that. All right, but next up, Suni Lee and Sasha. Was this your number 1 or number 2?
1. Why did they get a foxtrot with this song of all things?
I don't think she can win, Grace.
I don't either. I think she's going to come in 4th.
At best. I not only that, I think she could be out earlier. I just don't see that much excitement for her. I think she could be a shock boot, honestly.
I love her dearly. I thought she looked great. Her technique was beautiful. She is starting to perform more. I agree with Len that it did not feel like a foxtrot, but that's not her fault because they're given the dance styles and the music. Like, I'm trying to think, like, if I were Sasha and I'm thinking, really, you're going to give me a foxtrot with this raunchy song? What are you thinking?
I don't know. But I don't have any notes for her, honestly. She's one of the contestants. She's slowly starting to slip into, like, from top tier to middle tier. And
she hasn't really been able to do what she's good at. She does have a Viennese waltz this week, though, so thankfully that might be a good thing.
All right. But next up, Matt James and Lindsay. doing a tango. A lot of tangos and passos tonight.
Scream and shout.
And let it all out.
Which is a Will I Am song, so they cheated.
What'd you think?
I thought this was actually one of the few songs and dance styles that actually matched. His feet leave much to be desired. He did well with the character. He's definitely improving, which I'm happy to see because he's on my team, and I don't want him to win and not deserve it. But I thought this was a decent dance. After Olivia, this was my second favorite tango of the episode.
I just found it bizarre that they kept flashing pictures of his abs. Like just constantly. It was like, wait, what is going on
like,
here?
All those Lindsay on the screen. Like I know what they're doing because in the music video, like that's basically what they do is they keep panning to Brittany and Will.i.am in these weird poses. And that's what they were going for. But then I realized it was Lindsay. Like
it was just weird.
Yeah, he's got some work to do, no doubt.
All right, we got our last performance of the night. The Miz. Is The Miz going to be here for the long run?
See, I know Adam says every week that his team is in shambles, and both of the bottom two were from his team, so I still don't entirely think that your team isn't in shambles. But the fact that my number 6 pick outscored my number 1 pick, my team is in shambles.
Yeah, my team's actually doing pretty good. I think Team Accidental Victory isn't that bad of a name.
All right, so here's the thing with The Miz. I feel like this entire time, even I know I'm frozen, including before this season even started, all I saw from him was a novelty. Like his weird TikTok duets with Derek, I'm like, okay, dude's just going to be a novelty. He's going to be gone in a few weeks. I'm going to get bored with it. It's going to be fun for a bit, but then I'm going to get bored. This was the first time I saw him as an actual serious contestant.
Maybe. I'm worried that it might just be kind of a one-time thing. You know,
maybe
like he'll start here and then just kind of go back to where he is. Still, I don't think he's anywhere close. I think he's still kind of stuck in mid-tier at best. He's kind of fighting maybe for 6th or 7th, but
he might go the Frankie Muniz route, but even that's a stretch, I think.
Yeah, but otherwise, we have our bottom two, Christine and Kenya. We lose Christine. Are you okay with the results?
I didn't know about the Miz's face injury. That sounds a little bit strange. Like I said, this would not have been my personal bottom two. Mine would have been Brian and either Iman or Cody. And between those two, I don't care which one of them goes home. Maybe send them both home. But I think out of the bottom two, I would have sent Christine home if for no other reason that I think Kenya has a little bit more promise. And Christine has already been in the bottom two, so it's clear that she's just on fumes.
All right.
But no, second season in a row that Pasha was eliminated at the same point. This is where Pasha went home last season too. But
looking ahead, who's in trouble?
Well, I don't know how they're going to do it next week because it happened today. More breaking news. I've been so overwhelmed that I've just not been paying attention. Anyway, so next week we have a 2-night feature. The last couple, they haven't done a 2-night week in a while, but usually they send one person home each night. So if they do that, then 2 people are going home next week. Kenya's definitely in danger. I think Iman could find himself in the bottom 2 pretty soon. I'm hoping that Brian sees the bottom 2 at some point just because I don't really want him there. It's hard to say because I haven't really been keeping up with the Twitter trends. Yeah, 1 elimination per night. That's what I'm thinking too, Matthew, but I don't think they've said. But we do have the music.
All right. So I guess let's kind of go into our spoiler territory here. Okay. And let's kind of talk about some of the spoilers. So Grace, what do you got for us?
So, all right. So before we talk about Disney, week 5, which might be even worse than Disney, is Grease night.
I don't even know.
Grease, in my opinion, is the most overrated movie musical of all time.
I mean, it had some good songs, but
yeah. And then
how many can you turn into? Like, I didn't know the catalog was that
11 or 12. So it'll probably just run through the soundtrack. Is my guess.
Yeah, this is weird.
And a lot of people are saying they want Julie in there because she was in Grease Live, but I don't know.
I just like Beauty School Dropout.
And then I'm guessing week 6, since it's the week right before Halloween, will probably be Halloween night. which is always a fun night, even though I really don't like Halloween. All right, let's talk about this music. So Monday night is Disney Heroes.
All right, what do we got?
Kenya and Brandon are doing contemporary to Roll Your Eyes Now, How Far I'll Go.
Okay.
Olivia and Val are doing the samba to I Just Can't Wait to Be King. That's been done before.
Okay.
Amanda and Alan are doing the rumba to You'll Be in My Heart.
It's always the same, like 15 songs. Like, come on.
Right? There's a few that haven't been done.
There's some great like Disney songs, and they just always. All right, keep going.
All right. I don't think they've done this one yet, actually. I don't think they have. I know they did Trash in the Camp a few years ago, but I don't think they've done You'll Be in My Heart. Anyway, Jojo and Jenna are doing the Viennese waltz to A Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes.
Okay.
Melanie C and Gleb are doing jazz to Step in Time from Mary Poppins. See,
Okay.
what I want is a Viennese waltz to either Chim Chim Cheree or Let's Go Fly a Kite.
Oh, why couldn't we get like I loved saving Mr. Banks. Did you see him?
No. All right. On to the No.
You should go see Mr. Banks.
All right. The unreleased movie, Suni and Sasha are doing a salsa to Colombia Mi Encanto from Encanto.
All right.
That I don't know. I know Lin-Manuel Miranda did the music, so it's probably going to be hype. All right. Melora and Artem are doing a quick step to I Want to Be Like You.
What's that from?
The Jungle Book.
Okay.
Baloo is my dad's favorite Disney character. Anyway, Jimmy and Emma are doing the Paso Doble to I'll Make a Man Out of You.
Okay, I could dig that one. That's a good one.
I love that song. Good luck topping Normani, though. All right.
You must be swift as a course.
All right. Iman and Daniela are doing the foxtrot to Let It Go.
Oh, God. All right, keep going.
The Miz and Whitney are doing a quick step to Friend Like Me.
Okay, that one's
That's been done a lot. Brian and Sharna are doing the waltz to Someday My Prince Will Come. They did that one year, but it was the French version.
Okay.
All right, get ready to laugh. Cody and Cheryl are doing the jive to Stand Out from a Goofy movie.
I've never seen it.
I never want to see it. And Matt and Lindsay are doing the quick step to the Incredits from The Incredibles. And how is Let It Go a Foxtrot? How is that even allowed to be a song at this point? There was a Disney Night Contemporary to Let It Go, but that was back when Frozen was new. So,
all right.
All right, on to the villains.
We know the songs? Could I just pick? I would really want someone to do Cruella de Vil. That's what I would have picked. No one did it?
Someone's doing something from Cruella, but it's not
wait. Hold on. I'm just looking through which songs I would want on. I don't even know that many.
And some of these are Disney and are inspired by Disney villains, so they cheated. But
all right. Well, what do you got?
Kenya and Brandon are doing the Viennese waltz to "Dangerous Woman" by Ariana Grande, inspired by the Queen from Snow White.
What?
They cheated.
When was that?
They cheated.
When was that?
What?
Where did they get that? Where did you connect that song to that?
Well, they said it's inspired by Snow White, that's
a cheat. Come on, you can't. It's your own theme. All right, what was the other inspired by? It's because they don't have enough songs.
The other one is Jimmy and Alan. They're doing a jazz to Bad Guy, and their inspiration is Peter Pan. I'm guessing that's Captain Hook.
Bad Guy, like the Billie Eilish song.
Yes, because Captain Hook is a bad guy. Duh. Da, 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 da. I don't know.
You could say that about literally any villain.
Right? They're the only two, though. All right.
All right, bring us back to reality.
All right. Olivia and Val are doing a jazz to Remember Me.
The villain version.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Okay.
All right.
The Stella Cruz.
Yes. They didn't say that one, but I'm assuming what it is. Because in no way is Hector a villain. He's the victim.
Okay.
Amanda and Alan are doing the Paso Doble to Call Me Cruella from Cruella.
Dun-dun, dun-dun,
Did you watch
dun-dun.
Cruella? Because I never saw it.
I saw it twice. I
Oh,
love that movie. Yeah, I saw it in the theaters and when it came on Disney Plus.
okay.
Great movie. Really
Yeah,
fun.
I want to see Soul in theaters so bad. Like, can we just like go back to before COVID,
That's
or
on
at
Disney
least where we get a
Plus.
handle? I know, but I wanted to see it in theaters.
I didn't love the ending.
All right. Well, maybe that's what we'll do. We'll talk about Pixar movies. All right. Jojo and Jenna are doing the Paso Doble to Ways to Be Wicked from Descendants 2, which I think is a good song choice for them.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Melanie C and Gleb are doing the Viennese Waltz to the Maleficent version of Once Upon a Dream.
Fair enough.
There's
No
the
Poor Unfortunate Souls?
No, I'm so upset.
That's like the Disney villain song.
I know. No, Maleficent is though like pretty big now. Anyway, Suni and Sasha are doing a Viennese Waltz to I Put a Spell on You from Hocus Pocus.
I didn't even realize it was a Disney song.
Or a Disney movie.
Okay.
Melora and Artem are doing jazz to Mother Knows Best from Tangled.
Can I tell you the biggest surprise here is because, well, it's like, would this work? So Disney, I get we're kind of being a little loose, you know, with the songs. So since Marvel is technically a Disney property, right?
Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't the song from WandaVision, Agatha All Along?
That's what I was thinking. Like I said last week, the Imperial March would be such a good passo.
That too.
Darth Vader even wears a cape. And Disney
But I guess
Star Wars now.
I guess they don't want to be too obvious, like we own Star Wars. Like they don't want to be too transparent.
But that would be so. I don't even like Star Wars, and I'm preaching for an Imperial March dance.
Dun dun dun.
Maybe next
dun,
week
dun,
though,
dun,
for
dun,
like
dun.
introducing. I doubt we're doing 2 separate episodes, but like we should definitely like in lieu of the theme song, the Reality Hour theme song, we should just like come on with that. That should be like for the Disney night part. You should just play that part.
Can I say the Star Wars? Star Wars would be a fun theme.
No, I
Because
don't like Star Wars.
There's such good music.
Well, yeah, like I'm thinking like they could even do Cantina Band. Somebody did like the 80s version of the theme.
But surprisingly, there's a ton of music there. Like it doesn't have lyrics, but it's a great instrumental. Like it could be great for a lot of.
Yeah.
I mean, the opening credits, the lightsaber duels, the Princess Leia theme, like.
Oh God, does
the
that mean I have to do my hair
music,
in Princess Leia
the
buns?
Imperial
That would
March.
take me a long time.
What?
That means I would have to do my hair in Princess Leia buns, and that would take me a very long time.
All right, is that it for the songs though?
No, where was I? What were we talking about before we went off task?
Poor Unfortunate Souls.
Did we talk about Tangled?
No.
Oh yeah, okay. So Melora and Artem are doing a jazz to Mother Knows Best from Tangled.
Is that the Jessie J song?
No, you've never seen Tangled? Rapunzel's mom. It's her song. She's the villain.
All right.
You need to watch Tangled. It's so good. And it's the COVID movie.
I just saw Dear Evan Hansen. Now I'm watching Squid Game. Like,
that's all my kids talk about. Anyway, we already talked about Bad Guy.
You're a tough guy. I only like the version that was in Umbrella Academy. That was hype.
All right. Anyway, Iman and Daniela are doing the Argentine tango to Arabian Nights from Aladdin.
Okay.
The Miz and Whitney are doing the Argentine tango to Be Prepared.
There you go. That's a good one.
Brian and Sharna are doing
Brian and Cheryl.
Cheryl's right. I mean, Brian and Sharna are doing a Paso Doble to He's a Pirate, which has been done. Riker Lynch owns it. And nothing.
What's that from?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
My mind went to Lazy Town, the pirate song from Lazy Town.
What's wrong with you?
You know what I'm thinking of, though?
No!
Great villain song. Can you imagine?
All right, I only have 2 left. Cody and Cheryl are doing a Viennese Waltz to Gaston.
Okay. Ooh, that's my favorite. That's going to be my favorite.
And Matt and Lindsay are doing a passo to Jungle Book from the Jungle Book, which I don't know where the connection is made here.
No one rips off music. No one dun dun dun.
In the meantime, Adam is going to, instead of playing the Imperial March, he's going to write, instead of Gaston, it's going to be Adam.
Dancing with the
It's gonna be
Stars?
about him.
No, it's gonna be about Dancing with the Stars.
No, he's going to write his own lines about how he, instead of Gaston, though, it's going to be Adam.
No one writes like Adam. No one podcasts like Adam. No one contradicts Grace's. Or Eric, I guess, would have been the better fit.
Why am I encouraging this?
Eric would be a mess.
All right, but yeah, there's 2 episodes, so I don't know if we're gonna have 2 episodes or if we're just gonna have a really long episode.
We'll see.
Next week.
Depends where we're feeling. I mean, we'll see. I mean, this week's kind of busy for me, but next week should be good. Except I got Comic-Con tomorrow. I got my cosplay already.
I'm going to New York this weekend, 4 Broadway shows in 3 days.
Ooh.
I want a Broadway episode of Dancing with the Stars.
That's exciting, though, that you're coming to New York City. Like,
yes, I haven't been in a theater in almost 2 years, so I'm very happy. And I get to
we
see
have to
Sarah
do
Bareilles.
we have to do a live podcast. She's laughing as in that's never gonna happen.
Maybe.
All right. Anything else, Grace, in general about the show, about life, about bad musical choices?
I know I saw some of the pros were already in Disneyland last week because that's normally where they shoot their stuff. They go to Disneyland together and they shoot there. So there's already pictures from various times because I'm guessing, well, it's a good thing that Cody and Cheryl got to go to Disneyland.
I'm just realized, were there no Pixar songs, or was it all just straight Disney?
There's Coco. Coco is Pixar.
What would your hero/villain song be for Dancing with the Stars?
Well, I mentioned this before, but like I was thinking of stuff that nobody had ever done. Like even like the intro to Monsters Inc. would be such a fun quick step. I think that that would be such a fun quick step. I know last year we got the beginning of Up, which is something I wanted to be done for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like even I Can't Let You Throw Yourself Away would be good. They've done You've Got a Friend in Me a bunch. I'm thinking because I know Pixar movies are not known for being like music oriented. Or maybe like even on a whim, like the Triple Dent Gum jingle. That's where my brain is going right now. Triple Dent Gum will make you smile.
I like Cruella de Vil.
Yes.
And Gaston.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably. Ironically, my 2 favorite songs would be named after the people.
I'm so mad that we don't get Poor Unfortunate Souls. That is my favorite Disney villain song. Ursula is my favorite Disney villain.
Do you know if the movie, oh my God, what was the movie? The Little Mermaid is a musical?
They had a Broadway run. Apparently, the musical version wasn't very good, though.
No, the movie, the new one, the remake. Because you
I
know
never
what they
saw
did to Mulan. It didn't come out yet. Do you know?
No, I don't know. I would assume so. Because I feel like, because I know like the movie has a lot of music. And like, I feel like the entire soundtrack has been exasperated. Somebody even suggested maybe Les Poissons would be a good one for Villains Night.
Would that song from Ratatouille count as a hero song when it just plays at the restaurant? I don't know. Ratatouille had great music. That's what it was
I just watched that movie the other day.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time, honestly. Just
yeah.
Well, anything else, Grace?
Nope.
All right. Well, you could find me on Twitter at Adam Soapbox, and a crown for the eventual finale. And where can we find you, Grace?
There on Twitter.
I liked it better when we were in places where we were going to be like inside or hiding or buying Disney insurance.
Well, I will probably in New York be spending a ridiculous amount of money on M&Ms. That's where you can find me.
Should go visit. That could be fun.
Apparently, although my kids, because I have Jolly Ranchers and I found out Jolly Ranchers are a Hershey product. But if they were there, I would, because they only want the blue ones. They don't like the purple ones because they're
It's
weird.
true. The blue one is the best one. Blue and the watermelon.
But are the purple ones are the purple ones bad?
They're just
great.
like cough drops.
I don't know. They're weird, but like maybe I should just go on Mariah Carey and only get the blue M&Ms.
All right. Well, we will be back next week to talk about next week of Dancing with the Stars. Until then, everyone who joined us, thank you so much. And stay awesome. Peace.
Stay safe.
And thanks, Grace, for another good episode.
Thank you.